Hello and welcome, dear people. It is always so good to come back on this fourth Saturday of the month, Mandarpan Season 2. और ये हमारा चौथा episode है for this season that's on. This month of July is a beautiful month dedicated specially to doctors. And so our episode this time is Dimension Defying Docs. Doctors जो डॉक्टर होने से और ज्यादा आगे जाते हैं और उनसे चंद बातें करके we will unmask the doctor's persona and how much it takes to be a doctor. Well, let us also realize that 1st of July is celebrated as Doctor's Day because of the specialness that is associated with Dr. Bidan Chandra Roy. Now, this doctor was in one way definitely a dimension-defying doctor because उन्होंने पॉलिटिशियन के रोल में, फ्रीडम फाइटर के रोल में बहुत कुछ किया है. As the chief minister of West Bengal, he was the second chief minister of West Bengal and was there for 14 years in this political circle, besides being a very eminent, very renowned physician. So much to learn from him, and he also won the Bharat Ratna on the 4th of Feb 1961. And it is with this in mind to honor, remember him, and realize the value of doctors, their roles and their responsibilities, that 1st of July is celebrated as National Doctors' Day. This month, we also had celebrations of Eid, and Bakri Eid was celebrated not only by our Muslim brethren, but all of us joined in these celebrations. And that is the beauty of our country. Thank you, Misbah, for sending these beautiful photographs. And Misbah, who is close to Delhi and Noida, he has sent this family celebration photograph. सब मिलके जब हम लोग एक त्योहार मनाते हैं, एक साथ खाते हैं, जश्न मनाते हैं, तब प्यार भाईचारा सब बढ़ जाता है, लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा मानसिक संतुलन बनाए रखता है. So these beautiful photographs, and I can't help appetizing with the biryani and the kebabs, and of course the holy places that he also visited. दुआओं में याद रखो हमेशा हम सब को ही. That is important for all of us. And something closer to the heart. This month also had the World Chocolate Day on 7th of July. Now, although this tradition started around 2009, chocolate is as old as 1400 BC. And like they say, all you need is love, but a little chocolate now and then doesn't hurt. And we know that dark chocolate is a healthier alternative. But just to value things that make our lives special, chocolate is one such thing that can also give you a better mood and a better day. So we come back to our session today on Dimension Defying Docs. और हमारे साथ आज 3 हस्ती ऐसे हैं जिनसे मुलाकात करके आप जरूर इंस्पायर होगे. Let's move on to welcoming our guests today. We have with us Dr. John Rodrigues, who is a practicing homeopath and is also an intensivist, works at Andheri with patients having incurable diseases and last stage, end stage diseases, and does remarkable work both with his national and international patients. Thank you, Dr. John, for joining in today. We also have Dr. Jitendra Jeenger, who is joining us all the way from Rajasthan. And he is professor and head Department of Psychiatry, Gitanjali Medical College, Udaipur, besides being an avid traveler, nature lover, and wildlife photographer, as we will see ahead. Welcome to the show. And of course, our third interesting doctor on the show is Dr. Kirti Tandel. He also is a practicing private psychiatrist from Virar and also practices at Palghar, besides also being a sketch artist and photographer. Dr. John is a Guinness Book holder for marathon running and for training, besides being a fitness enthusiast. So we've got a dynamic bunch of doctors here, and we are going to be speaking to them, and we are going to be inspired and motivated with what they have to say about themselves and their lives. But like I always say, कहीं ना कहीं बचपन का हमारे साथ एक जोड़ होता है. And let us try and look back and ask our doctors. Dr. John, we would like to know from each one of you all, what about your childhood? How was it as a child? Any pleasant memories? and anything that helped you become what you are today.
Thank you, Dr. Fabian, for the sweet introduction. Thank you, Aniruddha, and my fellow doctors. I remember as early as when I was in KG, that's what my parents said, that I was always saying that I just want to be a doctor. And they would always make fun of me. If we have no doctors in our family, how could you ever become a doctor? We have barely any resources, and it was just taken as child's play. But as I grew on, I did very well in my studies. I used to always be first, second throughout my curriculum. I was in St. Blaise School in my primary, and I got a good support because I entered Dominic Savage, which is a Salesian school, Don Bosco Institute, and that's where my backing of sports came in. There were a lot of boarders there who had no parents; they were orphaned, and we were never given a chance because we had both parents. I was very good in studies, but I knew I was somewhere down missing on sports, and that grew over the time. That once I finished my studies, I somewhere down need to be connected. In fact, on 14th August, I've been appointed as the All India captain, and we are organizing the All India, Pan India Fitness Walk. And this is again come back, and Destiny says, so I am organizing this in my school. So I'm connecting back
Great.
to my school after 42 years. The same Dominic
Wow.
Savage school, I spoke to the priest, and he said, welcome back. So I think it's like a life is a circle, and I'm back to my Dominic Savage school on 14th August, trying to make at least 300 guys fit. And that's how it
Great.
is. So then my medical
Thank you.
practice.
Yes. Dr. Jitendra, आपका बचपन, something that you can bring through some memories?
Thank you, and good evening, audience. ऐसा है कि मेरा बचपन एक छोटे से गांव से शुरू हुआ। मैंने मेरा स्कूलिंग एवीएम आदर्श विद्या मंदिर स्कूल से किया, फिर मैं बोर्डिंग स्कूल नवोदय विद्यालय में चला गया। सिंस आई स्टडीड देयर फॉर 2 years, देन रिटर्न बैक टू द भीनमाल टाउन। छोटा सा गांव है राजस्थान के अंदर, जो कि जालोर डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर है, भीनमाल, जहाँ की जूतियां बहुत फेमस है। पूरे विश्व में वहां की जूतियां जो हाथ से बनाई जाती है, चमड़े की जूतियां, जो कि सब जगह फैली है और सब जगह एक्सपोर्ट होती है। मेरे पापा भी एक जूती बनाने वाले कारीगर थे, और मैंने भी जब मैं छोटा था बचपन में, तो उनके साथ बैठकर हम भी चमड़े की खिंचाई करना, ऊपर का पंजा बनाना, कभी उसको ठोक पार काट के उसको थोड़ा शेप में लाना, वो हम भी किया करते थे। फिर हमने 10th की गवर्नमेंट स्कूलिंग से, हाई स्कूल से 12th किया। फिर हमने पीएमटी क्लियर करके हमने डॉक्टर एसएन मेडिकल कॉलेज जोधपुर से मैंने एमबीबीएस किया। फिर 2006 से 2009 मैंने गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेज कोटा से साइकेट्री में एमडी किया। इस तरीके से मेरा बचपन और मेरा कैरियर शुरू हुआ।
बढ़िया sir. What about you, Dr. Kirti? Anything that you can share about your childhood memories?
So we all know how much childhood plays an important role in our future life. So if I go back and see through my childhood, I've been blessed to have a very happy childhood, to be very honest. Dr. John also said, so probably like I used to be very good in academics, so I used to be the teacher's pet. स्कूल में थोड़ा सा ज्यादा मिलता था, वो प्यार मिलता था हमेशा. So that school life has been really a wonderful part of my life. So a lot of encouragement that came through my teachers. I have blessed by a very wonderful and loving family. So love has always been around me throughout my childhood. I did my so I come from Virar, so I'm basically from Virar. So I did my schooling in Virar. My school's name is Narsya Govindra Varatak English Medium High School. So we had a very small school to start with. So from there, after I finished it was just a very new school. I was in my third batch of my school. After schooling, after 10th, I went to Ruparil College. So I did my 11th and 12th. So Ruparil had a very big name at that time. So people were very proud कि चलो अपना बच्चा वहाँ पे उत्तर तक चला गया. So from there, then afterwards, in the first attempt, I got into Nayar Hospital. I did my UG from Nayar. So if I go back to my childhood, yes, childhood has been like I would say go to memory whenever we feel stressed. I can just recollect a few memories from my childhood. Okay, everyone used to love me and all, so it has always backed me up in my low phase. So yeah,
बिल्कुल,
I'm really
बिल्कुल. Yes, the beautiful memories that we have of childhood is always like first aid to go to whenever we are upset, टेंशन हो, तकलीफ हो, तनाव हो. बचपन की यादें निकालो और खुश वापस बन जाओ. ये तो जरूर हो सकता है. And we've also seen, जैसा all our panelists have said, अपना गांव, शहर, स्कूल चाहे जितना भी छोटा हो, सपना बड़ा होना चाहिए. मेहनत, अपना जो ताकत है, अपना जो हिम्मत है, हौसला है, ये बड़ा होना चाहिए. And that can make our dreams come true. No matter where we start from, if we are clear about where we want to go, I'm sure with hard work and dedication, we can make our dreams a reality. And this is especially of significance for all those students who have got their results recently, the 10th standard board, the 12th standard board. I think you can be inspired by our three doctors, and this will definitely show you the way. But let me tell you, becoming a doctor is not easy. वो परिश्रम जो करना पड़ता है वो काफी होता है, और ये शरीर और दिमाग दोनों के लिए एक टेस्टिंग ग्राउंड होता है. What about your education as a doctor, your journey as a doctor? How was that on? Dr. Jitendra, can you tell us about your journey as a doctor and now also?
Since I completed my MD from Government Medical College, Kota, I have joined as a senior resident in the department of Gitanjali Medical College, as a in the psychiatry department. And मैं पहला व्यक्ति था जिसने वो डिपार्टमेंट ओपन किया, स्टार्ट किया. I was the first psychiatrist appointed over there, and started with the single patient in a day. अपनी होप बना के रखता था. बहुत लोग बोलते थे कि कहीं और जाकर के काम करो डॉक्टर साहब, यहाँ पे तो मरीज ही नहीं आते. Started with the single patient in a day for at least 6 months. Then 6 महीने बाद, साल भर बाद में वो एक पेशेंट से 2 हुआ, 2 से 4 हुआ. Then I become assistant professor. Few faculty have also joined there later. फिर उसके बाद हमारे एक सीनियर साइकेट्रिस्ट जो उन्होंने ज्वाइन किया एज हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट. नाउ ही हैज रिटायर्ड, सो आई एम द हेडिंग द डिपार्टमेंट. तो जब वो एक पेशेंट से स्टार्ट किया, लास्ट 14 ईयर से आई एम वर्किंग इन द गीतांजलि मेडिकल कॉलेज, और एक पेशेंट से अब 40 पेशेंट तक पहुंच गए एवरी डे. नाउ इट्स वेरी बिजी फॉर अस. एंड हमारे पास डिपार्टमेंट में लाइक इंडोर फैसिलिटीज है, ईसीटी फैसिलिटीज हैं. ऑलमोस्ट 20 to 25 पेशेंट जो है वो इंडोर रहते हैं. वी हैव 3 रेजिडेंट्स इनटेक एवरी ईयर. सो हमने 4 बैचेज ऑलरेडी हमने हमारे यहाँ से एमडी पास करके निकल चुके हैं. और शाम को मेरा क्लिनिक है जो कि मैं 2 घंटे के लिए पेशेंट देखता हूँ, जो कि सिटी के अंदर है.
राइट, तो सबर का फल जरूर मीठा होता है. And you've gone one step at a time. You've believed in what you wanted, and that is how things took shape. I think it makes a lot of sense. Dr. John, what about you? The journey as a doctor going ahead, what do you have to share with us?
Yeah, my journey has been a little different. As I said earlier, I always wanted to be a doctor. So after I finished my schooling in Dominic Savio, I obviously had science in mind. So I took admission in Mumbai College, and my focus was those in 1980s. It was only merit. There were no private colleges. So it was either you get into KEM or Nair or Science. And unfortunately, as destiny says, I lost my merit admission by 1 mark at JJ Hospital. I got into Nair Dental. The immediate next was I wanted to be a full-fledged physician. So I got my admission on the first role at the Homeopathic Medical College at Irla, that's opposite Cooper Hospital. Today is called as CMP Medical College. I was always a merit student. The beauty about the homeopathic part was it taught us all the subjects about MBBS, plus there were total 3 extra subjects in homeopathy. So we had 10 plus extra 3. The extra 3 were the Materia Medica, the repertory, and the organon philosophy. In fact, the founder, the homeopath, was an MD physician, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann from Germany. He's the guy who introduced homeopathy. He said, what fails in modern medicine? Those days it was called as allopathy. In fact, homeopathy can do it. So that's how I came into this science, and I said I want to do something different, something which is incurable. We have to find solution, and that's how I focused on the modern medicine as well as homeopathic science. So what happens to a patient when they are not treated in modern medicine? Then they come to us and we try to create hope for the hopeless. It is said incurable means it is curable from inside. All diseases are curable from inside. So there are like injured. We are eating something superficially. You need to do it. And that's my journey. Now I finished 35 years of medical practice and I'm teaching. I'm almost taught more than 100 students from the homeopathic college. I held conference all over the country. I visit places like Aurangabad. I go to Sangli. I go to medical colleges. I teach them there. They come to my clinics. I do a lot of practical hand-on experiences. I treat patients all over the world,
Great.
from Russia, from Syria. So I keep taking the homeopathy to the world. Thank you so much.
Great. So, like they say, it's never a end of the road, it is a bend in the road. That one mark that otherwise could have made somebody lose hope, that probably got you to put in your best further, take your dream ahead, and today you are proud of what you are, and you're making a difference not only on the national scene but on the international scene as well. Lesson learned well from you. And Dr. Kirti, what do you have to share about your journey of becoming a doctor and ahead?
So, like I said, I started my undergraduation in Nair Hospital. So, of course, जो starting का जो period था, shift from 12th standard to a medical curriculum was slightly difficult to adjust to it. तो लेकिन धीरे धीरे to अच्छा लगा, डॉक्टर बनना था, पहले से ही बनना था, तो that was always in my mind. So, and family was also happy. I come from a family which has absolutely no medical background, so that was really difficult in the initial part to understand, to have a guide. So but then जैसे आपने कहा कि जब होना है तो होता ही है सब कुछ, है ना. तो I completed my MBBS from Nair. Later on I took a few bit of more attempts to get into PG, but like you said, सब्र का फल मीठा होता है, तो मेरे लिए काफी अच्छा मीठा रहा, because I always wanted to get into psychiatry. तो जब हमारा थर्ड ईयर के पोस्टिंग रहते थे, तो वी ऑल नो दैट साइकेट्री यूज्ड टू बी एन ऑप्शनल पोस्टिंग, बट आई टुक दोस 15 days वेरी सीरियसली. एवरी डे आई यूज्ड टू गो टू द साइकेट्री डिपार्टमेंट एंड सिट. तो वो पहले से शुरुआत था. तो आई गॉट इनटू साइकेट्री इन माय पीजी, एंड आफ्टर दैट आफ्टर 2 years आई डिड माय डीपीएम. और डीपीएम के बाद फिर मैंने नायर हॉस्पिटल में जाके वापस एसआर शिफ्ट की, बिकॉज आई हैड एन इंटरेस्ट इन चाइल्ड एंड एडोलेसेंट मेंटल हेल्थ एंड द स्कूल साइकेट्री पार्ट. सो वहाँ पे स्कूल मेंटल हेल्थ क्लिनिक करके नायर हॉस्पिटल में एक अच्छा डिपार्टमेंट है, तो वहाँ पे मैंने 8 महीने का ट्रेनिंग लिया. And then from there onwards, I started with my private practice, because in the area where I stay, there is a lot of scope for mental health, because a lot of stigma, a lot of lack of awareness is there regarding mental health. So I always wanted to practice where I was born, and right from my childhood I used to see all these things. So शुरुआत की थी, तो फिर वो अभी आगे लेके जा रहा हूँ. I am in my practice since last 5.5 years now. But like I said, I'm very emotional about my roots. So Palghar, where you just mentioned that I practice in Palghar, so I come from that district. Now this is kind of a tribal district, to be very honest. So people are absolutely not aware about what exactly mental health is. So I go twice in a week to this area in Palghar. तो वहाँ पे एक डॉक्टर का जो सेटिस्फेक्शन होता है ना, वो मिल जाता है. मतलब ठीक है, प्राइवेट प्रैक्टिस करना है, ये सब चीजें चलती रहती है, बट एब्सोल्युटली व्हेन आई गो टू द एरिया इन पालघर, वहाँ पे भी मैंने बहुत सारे अंदर इंटीरियर्स में जाके अवेयरनेस कैंपेन्स किए हैं regarding mental health. So that gives me a kind of a satisfaction of being in this field, to giving back to the society, to giving back what I have learned. So that really gives me a kind of a satisfaction with it.
Definitely. I think blooming where you are planted and then doing what you can, the challenges that you face in that area of awareness, spreading awareness and taking away stigma, meeting those needs can bring a difference, a world of a difference to the place that you are. And greater the challenge, greater the satisfaction of success that you experience. So like our audience, Rense, Rebecca, Seidel, and Misbah are saying, yes, these doctors are motivating us, and it is great to receive this inspiration from them through this show, our MANN DARPAN, that comes to you every 4th Saturday of the month. This is our season 2. Now, like we said, being a doctor is not easy. डॉक्टर के जिम्मेदारियों के साथ काफी तनाव आता है, काफी challenges आते हैं, and expectations are there, and life can be very busy for a doctor. Balancing that family life and our professional life again can be a challenge. और इस सिनेरियो में you think doctors can make time and take care of their own stress and develop their own talents? Well, you may think again and wonder, शायद ये मुमकिन नहीं है. लेकिन हमारे तीनों आज जो guests हैं, they have proved that they can go beyond being a doctor and enhance their talents and hobbies in a great way to influence others also. Let me start with Dr. John. Dr. John, there is something special that you do besides saving lives and being the intensivist that you are. Tell us more about this.
I come again here. As a child, I said I was always influenced for sports and fitness. And initially, I said I had to come back from where I started. So when I was started my practice, I used to see that we are taking almost 16 hours, 18 hours. We are coming next day, we are going, we are seeing the patients. Our patients are getting fitter and we are getting unfit. And when I said I started joining the gym, I worked on the gym for almost 5 years. Every going day for the treadmill, the fitness, started getting boring. I remember in 2008, the Mumbai Marathon had just started and I used to do treadmill for 3 kilometers. So I told my 3 colleagues there, they are non-doctors, I think we'll take a challenge. We'll run 21 kilometers. So we have gone out of it. 21 kilometers from the station to Churchgate station. On the train it is printed. I said, okay, we can 1 kilometer at a time. So we started running from Andheri. We reached the airport, which was around 5 kilometers. So success one done. We managed it. And then we said we'll do a training every week. We increase at least by 2 kilometers. And then we did it over a period of 3 months. And in 3 months, we reached 22 kilometers. And we started one day Andheri. And the mock run, we ended actually outside Churchgate station. So that was an achievement. I said it is possible. And those days, that's the time when the Taj was attacked. If you remember very strongly, in November
Yes.
26th or 25th of 2008, and this marathon we registered for Mumbai Marathon in 2009, and the route we had to run was the same route where our terrorists had entered from VT station. The termination also was VT. It was about to get cancelled, but as you said, destiny is different, and we were there. We have practiced for almost 6 months, and we finished our first marathon in 2009, the Mumbai Marathon, with a good timing of 21 kilometers. I remember it was something within 2.5 hours. We ran right from VT station, came back to Bandra. Those days we didn't have the Bandra Worli Seal Road. So we came from Hinduja Hospital back, the same route back. But in the last 6 years, we have been running beautifully well, only because of the lockdown. And every year, we are very fortunate every year to run the Bandra Worli Sea Link. The only marathoners are allowed, none of them, only other 4-wheelers are allowed. So very fortunate. And then I started roping in a lot of doctors because I found a lot of doctors were getting unfit. In fact, the Ambani hospital initially was Neetu Manke's hospital. I strongly remember he was supposed to start that, and I happened to attend one of his seminars, and he told me I'm working 22 hours a day. And in a few months' time, he had a massive cardiac arrest and he died. And that's
Yes.
history. That really took me off. I said, no, we are making our patients fit. But what about doctors? So I opened up a marathon group only to train doctors. And I had
Great.
almost support from the pharma companies who financed me 25 doctors. And my second marathon, I ran along with 25 doctors of Mumbai. And thereon today, I have almost 450 people who have trained all over India. Majority of them are doctors. Satara
Very,
has.
very commendable.
Yeah. So thank you. So
And how
doctors,
did you make it to the Guinness Book of World Records?
yeah, that happened in 2016 when I was running my usual marathon. I met a lot of doctors in Satara. So I was very excited about Satara because there's a beautiful place called Khas Plateau. I don't know if you have visited. If you have
Yes,
not,
yes. The
please visit
flowers.
it. Yes, Khas. They say it is our Switzerland of India. It's so pretty. Please visit it. And the day earlier we went there and we visited that place. And next morning, what to say? We are running the same route again. And it was an elevation of 3,000 vertical feet. Vertical 3,000 feet like Khandala Ghat, and horizontally it was going 21K. So it was an elevation and it was an amazing. It entered because we have 4,000 plus runners who ran the hill run together. So we were qualified for all the 4,000 plus runners, qualified for the Guinness Book of Records, running the highest marathon together in India. So India features in the Guinness Book of Record for the Satara Hill Marathon. And even today,
Wonderful, wonderful. And we'll have those poster flash on that has you there in, and I'm a hill champion, as it says. Beautiful pictures, and it brings back memories for you, I'm sure, of being a fitness enthusiast, a marathon runner, and a marathon trainer. So we've had these beautiful set of photographs put together for,
thank you
yes.
so
And this is also about Mauritius, your recent visit and representation of India at Mauritius and the Freedom Run. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes. So it was always inspiring me two things. That if I learn medicine, I have to take medicine to the world. And if I learn marathon, I have to go back to the world. So this is always, I never worked on boundaries. I feel the earth belongs to everyone. There are no countries, there are no districts, there are no states. We are all born as one person of the whole race. So that's how even homeopathy comes from Germany. Today, there's hardly anyone practicing homeopathy in Germany. So my ambition is to take back homeopathy back to Germany. As they say, we started yoga and Ayurveda from India, but today yoga is practiced everywhere except India. So we are bringing back yoga to India. So is my thing to bring back homeopathy, and the international marathon was an inspiration because initially I ran the Thailand one, but this year one of my Guinness Book holder, Kranti Salvi, she is in a Guinness Book of Berlin Marathon, where she's the only woman in the world who ran 42 kilometers in a sari. No worry sari. That's a distance of Andheri to Virar. So that inspired me. If a woman can do something like this, I think we guys should do. We can do better. So I
Right.
represented it in Mauritius. It was an amazing experience. Just 20 days back on 23rd of July, and we were two runners.
Yes.
One of the senior guy who was 65
Great.
years old. I inspired him. He was about to retire. Now say he can work till 75 years of age because he can run international marathon of
Great.
Mauritius. He should not retire from the company. So I
And
keep
what
inspiring.
about the Freedom Run?
The Freedom Run,
What?
which is coming up on the 14th August, is the initiative taken by the Major of India. He's a captain, army, and he himself is a doctor. He said India has everything except that we are lazy people. So on the 14th of August, India celebrates the 75th Independence Day. So we have taken the initiative, all the fitness runners and the army guys, that let us make a lazy India into a fit India. If India can walk, I think India can do far, far better. So it's an initiative. I request all of you to register for the 14th of August. It's a small amount we have to pay, 449, which will go for the Indian Army soldiers of the Kargil war because they deserve a lot more. They have done a lot for us. So we request all of you to register for that. And each of us will be given, you can just
Definitely.
walk for 75 minutes for your soldiers. And each of us will be given a t-shirt by the Indian Army, a medal, which will have a 75th recording, and the
Yes.
certificate. So please spread on this
And
message to the whole India.
yes, we'll
One
make
India,
sure Mandarpan also gets people to register and run this, right?
yeah,
So
one
that
India.
has been very encouraging for us to take our fitness not for granted as doctors, making others fit. We also must do the same for ourselves. So we are inspired. And on the same lines, let's speak to Dr. Jitendra. डॉक्टर जितेंद्र, आपका भी कुछ अनोखा शौक है और इससे आपने बहुत कुछ किया है. यू मेड अ लॉट ऑफ वीडियोस दैट आई हैव बीन फॉलोइंग आल्सो ऑन यूट्यूब. आप बताइए, आप ही की जुबानी, आपके शौक और ये कला के बारे में.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर फेबियन. ऐसा है कि 2012 मेरे को मेरे फ्रेंड ने एक कैमरा गिफ्ट किया. तो जब मेरे को कैमरा गिफ्ट किया तो आई स्टार्टेड टू एक्सप्लोर द कैमरा एंड बिकॉज आई एम लिविंग इन द उदयपुर, सो इट्स अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल सिटी. तो शाम को कैमरा लेकर के लेक के किनारे जाके फोटोग्राफी करी, फोटो खींचते थे. एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर एंड टू लोग प्रेज करने लगे, हाँ अच्छा फोटो खींचते हो. Thereafter, I have started wildlife photography, bird photography, and like all the animals and all. I have made a documentary on the various tigers and even leopards. I stayed
और ये
in
सब
the,
यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल है, राइट?
yes, YouTube पे available है.
चैनल आपका.
Yes, like Javai is a leopard conservative reserve, and I stayed there for 5 days, and I made a documentary on a single leopardess, and I shoot her morning and evening with their cubs and all that, with their partner and all that. I made a documentary of 15 minutes and it is available on the YouTube. So apart from this photography, I have also a hobby to trek and to travel in the like high altitude. मैं लद्दाख रीजन जो है वो 3 times I have covered the लद्दाख रीजन सोलो
क्या
और
बात है।
समटाइम विद द पार्टनर्स. स्पीति सर्किट किया है मैंने. अभी रिसेंटली 1 month बैक आई विजिटेड टू द जंस्कार वैली. Janskar Valley, it is very abundant. It is like no roads over there. But last 1 year there is now अब ट्रैक की बजाय अब रोड है कि गाड़ी चल सकती है. बिफोर दैट कि वहां पर सिर्फ ट्रैक था, आप पैदल जाना है और पैदल आना है, अदरवाइज देयर इज नो ऑप्शन टू गो देयर. तो ये द जंस्कार वैली सिचुएटेड बिटवीन द मनाली, कारगिल एंड द लेह. सो इट इज अ लद्दाख रीजन ओनली. तो जंस्कार वैली में हम गए. वहां पर एक फुक्तार मोनेस्ट्री है. फुक्तार मोनेस्ट्री पे मतलब कि रिवर के किनारे पे आपको ऑलमोस्ट 3 किलोमीटर चलना है एट द एल्टीट्यूड ऑफ 4200 मीटर्स. उस समय हमारा सैचुरेशन वाज एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ आवर ट्रैकिंग इट वाज 89%. तो हाँ, एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ. और फिर हमने मतलब 2.5 किलोमीटर्स अप हिल्स, डाउन हिल्स, रिवर साइड में चलते चलते वी हैव रीच टू द फुक्तार मोनेस्ट्री एंड देन रिटर्न बैक. सो इट वाज टोटल 5 किलोमीटर्स ऑफ ट्रैक. इट वाज रियली अमेजिंग. बस सांस चढ़ता रहता था. थोड़ा सा 10 कदम चलते थे, फिर सांस लेते थे, फिर चढ़ता रहता था, फिर सांस लेते थे. ऐसे ही करके वी हैव ट्रेवल्ड ओवर देयर और बहुत मजा आया, बहुत एंजॉय किया. एक रश जो फील होता है, एक जो एड्रेनलिन रश रिलीज होता है बॉडी के अंदर, उससे ब्रेन के बहुत सारे बदलाव आते हैं. और जो जब आप लोगों से मिलते हैं वहां पर, ऐसा है कि जंस्कार में लोग भी बहुत कम है. मतलब आप एक गांव में 3 घर, फिर 10 किलोमीटर बाद में एक गांव है तो वहां पर भी 3-4 घर है. नो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज अवेलेबल. 6 महीने तो वहां पे बर्फ रहती है, तो वहां पे पानी भी नहीं था. तो टॉयलेट भी ड्राई टॉयलेट है, मतलब कि यू कांट यूज वाटर बिकॉज वो पानी तो बर्फ होता है 6 months. तो एवरीथिंग इज लाइक वेरी टफ ओवर देयर. So we have stayed there for a few days and explored. लोगों से बातें करी, लोगों से मिले, तो उनका जो एक्सपीरियंस है उससे आपको लोगों को समझने में बहुत हेल्प मिलती है. आपको अपने जिंदगी जीने का तरीका बदल जाता है. आप इस मेंटल हेल्थ को और ज्यादा मजबूत करते हैं, आप फिजिकल हेल्थ को और ज्यादा मजबूत करते हैं, क्योंकि आप ऐसे टेरेन में चलते हो तो आप फिजिकली आप बहुत स्ट्रांग हो जाते हो और मेंटली तो यस होते हो. लोगों को समझने में आपको बहुत मतलब एक कैपेसिटी डेवलप होती है कि आप कैसे लोगों को समझ पाएंगे. उनकी इमोशनल स्टेट को समझने में बहुत हेल्प मिलती है. कम्युनिकेशंस में बहुत बदलाव आता है आपके, जब आप इस तरह की चीजें करते हैं, ट्रैवल करते हैं.
And you have been enjoying this. We have some beautiful photographs of the photographer. Yes, so this is the man in action. And yes,
Fabian sir, the middle one photo आप देख रहे हैं, बीच वाला फोटो?
Yes, जो black and white में है.
हाँ. For this
that
photograph,
is an award-winning photograph. बताइए ना उसके बारे में.
Yes. Recently, there is a competition through the Doctor's Lens contest. तो इस contest में मैंने ये कैटेगरी was मतलब स्ट्रीट फोटोग्राफी के कैटेगरी में मैंने ये फोटोग्राफ भेजा था, जो कि फर्स्ट प्राइज इस फोटोग्राफ ने लिया. इस फोटोग्राफ को जो फर्स्ट प्राइज मिला. और जो मैं लेटा हुआ हूँ, ये फोटोग्राफ जो है कच्छ का है, लिटिल रन ऑफ कच्छ.
अच्छा, द व्हाइट सैंड्स.
यस, लिटिल रन ऑफ कच्छ.
ओके. और ये आपका कैमरा है या एक
ये
औजार है?
ये रॉकेट लॉन्चर है. ये कैमरा है, अभी मैंने लिया है सर जी.
ओके, इट्स हाई टेक कैमरा. एंड यस, दिस इज व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट.
हाँ, जो फुक्तार मोनेस्ट्री है, जो मैं इंडिकेट कर रहा हूँ, उधर लास्ट वाला फोटोग्राफ राइट मोस्ट, उसके अंदर जो वाइट जो दिख रहे हैं ना, केव है एक डार्क. केव के नीचे वो मोनेस्ट्री है, दैट इज फुक्तार मोनेस्ट्री.
ओके.
यहाँ पे देखिए, ये नदी के किनारे ट्रैक है. बस ये देयर इज द ओनली, यू हैव टू गो देयर बाय ट्रैक ओनली. मतलब इट विल टेक 5 hours फ्रॉम मतलब लास्ट विलेज ऑफ जंस्कार वैली, पुणे विलेज से 5 घंटे लगते हैं यहाँ पर जाकर के आने में. और वहां पर 30 or 40 मॉन्क्स रहते हैं और वहाँ पर वो पढ़ाते हैं और दे मतलब लाइक बौद्धिस्ट कल्चर जो है वो फॉलो करते हैं.
Okay, and this is
और
Shinkula Pass.
that is the highest pass which we have to cross, and then we enter into the Janskar Valley.
Okay, beautiful photographs there. Even the one with your camera and the waters there. और आपने जैसा सही फरमाया, ये फोटोग्राफी, वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफी एंड ट्रैकिंग, ये सब से हमको जिंदगी के लिए भी कोई सीख जरूर मिलता है. The need to be patient, the need to be tolerant, the need to value what we have, and the need to be strong enough to go against odds and challenges. ये सब करते करते किसी का आउटलुक जो है, माइंडसेट जो है, जरूर उसमें बदलाव आता है. और आपने ये जो एक्सपीरियंस किया है, आप अपने पेशेंस तक पहुंचाएंगे. इसमें we have a ripple effect and we bring about the change that we want so much to bring about in this world. So I think your talents, your hobbies, you have used very wisely and well for yourself and for others, and we are proud of you. This has been inspiring for sure. Let's move on to our Dr. Kirti. Dr. Kirti also has been blessed by talent, and as he will tell us, genetically wired so as well. But we'd like to hear from you about your talents and your journey with your talents. Dr. Kirti.
But before I tell about myself, I really love the last two panelists. तो बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से इंस्पायरिंग स्टोरी बताई अपने टैलेंट के बारे में, तो काफी इंस्पिरेशनल है. कांग्रेचुलेट बोथ ऑफ देम. सो रिगार्डिंग लाइक यू सेड कि जो जेनेटिक्स है, मतलब राइट फ्रॉम माय 3 generations, if I could, so my grandfather used to be a professional painter. So art has always been there in our family. So right from my father draws very paints well. My paternal uncle is also chacha है, वो भी professional painter है. My brother also is good in art. So art is always there in our life. So school में वगैरह drawing competitions थोड़ा सा feel कराते थे. I used to get good ranks and prizes also for that. So that used to be there right from the beginning. I just had to refine it. So regarding art, I would say art में usually like sketching. So sketching में इसलिए होता है क्योंकि monochrome होता है, black and white में हमें सब कुछ दिखाना होता है. So those two colors are enough, show certain emotions, certain thoughts that we have, right? Colors are always there, but then to put it into just two colors is a kind of a difficult thing to do. But still, I enjoy doing that. So if I tell you how I got into sketching, so MBBS का second year था वो. तो I used to जब लेक्चर थोड़े से बोरिंग हो जाते थे, तो थोड़ा डुडलिंग रहता था पीछे. तो जब डुडल्स वगैरह करते करते माय कलीग वो नोटिस में थोड़ा सा अच्छा निकल रहा था. So she gifted me these pencils. Those are like a professional pencils for sketching, straight. So मार्च में वगैरह करके आता है. तो वहाँ से मैंने शुरुआत की थी. तो वहाँ से मैंने शुरुआत किया. एवरी लाइक से मंथ में या दो स्केचेस निकालना शुरू किया. Then I also started enjoying things. So sketching के बाद फिर थोड़ा सा खुद से थोड़ा YouTube ट्यूटोरियल्स देखने लगा, थोड़ा रिफाइन करने लगा. So लेटर पार्ट में स्केचिंग के बाद मैंने थोड़ा सा पेंटिंग पे थोड़ा दिया. पेंटिंग के बाद फिर अभी जैसे आर्ट का जो मैंने बोला कि वो थोड़ा रिफाइन करते गया. According to me, my hobbies have evolved. So एक पीक आ जाने से I feel कि ओके तो ये हो गया, मैं कुछ और ट्राई करूँगा. तो फिर यहाँ से नेक्स्ट अगर हॉबी के बारे में बोलूँ तो I started with it was in my I would say in my internship period. So I used to stay in the hostel at that time. So my I had bought not a DSLR but a digital camera with a good lens. Okay. तो वहाँ से मैं शुरू.
Yeah, I think we've lost network and connectivity with Dr. Kirti, but what he was trying to tell us was definitely that from his art background of the family, genetically wired, as I said, he has been a person growing up in a family that valued art and was skilled at art. और वो करते करते स्कूल में he excelled in art and drawing. Then later he was gifted these pencils. वहाँ से शौक और बढ़ गया, and धीरे धीरे again a camera also came his way, and he moved on from sketching as well as to photography that became his passion. And we have you back on scene, Dr. Kirti, and we were trying to trace your journey with sketch drawing and with photography, right? So, does that make you feel good? Does that relax your nerves?
So
These
art has
hobbies
helped
that
me
you
slow
help
down in
people.
life. So right. So art has helped me to slow down in life. So we have gone through a period where when we started with our private practice, there have been moments where we have reached that burnout period. So बहुत ज़्यादा, like I said, I go to Paris. There's a lot of traveling involved in my practice. So कभी ना कभी ये थोड़ा एक burnout period आ जाता है जहाँ पे बहुत tired feel होता है, बहुत ज़्यादा.
Right. So let's take a look at the slides that we have and look at this remarkable drawing that is there. And as he said, although shades of black and white are used, there is so much that can be picked up from these drawings, and it's very skilled artistry. Dr. Kirti has mastered this art of sketch drawing beautifully well, as you can see this. And then again, we have some of his photographs that he has clicked, and this is, of course, the Hawa Mahal that is the famed part of Rajasthan, and photographs that are beautiful. I think an eye for aesthetics and such beautiful photography can definitely give you so much more happiness from the flavors of life. So we are inspired by Dr. Kirti Tandel and his art, his hobbies, his journey that he has had. We just had a look at your beautiful artwork, and there's lots of appreciation coming in for all our three panelists, Archana, Aisha, Amish, Kishore, all saying that this is great. And Dr. Kirti, as you were just mentioning, this has taught you to slow down. Yes, this has taught you to relax. What are the fringe benefits for you?
So basically, like I said, one, it boosts your self-esteem. So whenever you feel low, this is the go-to activity to go at. So I take a break for a day or two. वो दिन कुछ नहीं करना है, प्रैक्टिस बंद, घर पे बैठो, एक पेन और पेंसिल और बुक मेरा निकाल के बैठ जाता हूँ, स्टार्ट कर देता हूँ जो माइंड में है. लाइक आई सेड, आर्ट इज अ सेकंड लैंग्वेज टू कम्युनिकेट. यू कैन एक्सप्रेस इन अ डिफरेंट way. So
True,
if you could see a few of my sketches, so they have emotions in it. There was this COVID period had taken a, like, I could in the third row. Yeah, so I had drawn that to express, because there are too many emotions in that, right? We were literally separated from our loved ones, yet we had to be in touch with them. So that is how I had expressed that. And yes, then I like I said, in photography as well, I like portrait photography, so I like to capture candid emotions as well. So yeah, so here it is.
great.
And like Jitendra sir ने बोला कि राजस्थान is a very beautiful place to visit. तो हवा महल है, बहुत सारे वहाँ का जो जयगढ़ फोर्ट है, बहुत सारे फोर्ट्स है फोटोग्राफी के लिए. So that was really an enriching experience with the lens as well.
True. So we've seen talents and we've seen how it can reduce our stress. Our three panelists have shared. And even for a doctor, we realize that life can be tough. There can be difficult moments in our life, and the doctor themselves have to take care of these difficult moments. We'd like to ask our panelists, have there been any difficult moments in your life, and what significance it has had for you? Dr. John, would you like to share?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Fabian. I think there is a saying, till and until the gold is heated, the purity of gold never comes out. And to make whatever person, I think it is only with struggle and problems. The first tragedy of my life was when I lost my dad just before entering my medical. That's around the age of 70. I had to give my finals in March, and my dad expired in December. I had just 3 months to appear for my 12th. Whatever said and done, I managed it, and that's the change. Still, in spite of that, I entered a medical college. That was the first tragedy of life. Then I lost my dear brother, only brother, after around 6 years, who was my support. Then every 3 years, I've been losing people. So every time there is a problem, I only say one thing. When the going goes tough, it is only the tough which will keep getting going. So I thought one thing, if I have to sustain myself, if I have to live on, carry on, till date I have lost a lot of people. In fact, Dr. Fabian knows I lost my wife some 8 months back. But it is all that, right from almost 14, 15 people in my family I've lost. Now we are only 4. I have to take care of a daughter who just finished her designing. So when this Dr. Kirti was speaking, it reminded me of her creative talents. And I've been encouraging her that you have to carry on. She's been crying. I said, no, I've stood and I'm there to inspire you, the next generation. That only when the going goes tough, the tough gets going. And that's how I went
True.
into fitness. And that's how I've encouraged everyone. Ki life is beyond your problems. When there's a problem,
Very true.
always I'm the one
We
who always
stand inspired. We stand inspired by you smiling in the face of grief, pain, and loss of dear ones, but still you are making your life and the life of others so magical. Beautifully shared. What about you, Dr. Jitendra? ऐसा कोई वक्त, ऐसा कोई मौका जहाँ पे जिंदगी का थोड़ा सा मुश्किल घड़ी आपने सामना किया है?
बिल्कुल डॉक्टर फेबियन, ऐसा है कि जब कोविड स्टार्ट हुआ इन लाइक 2020, सो इन इनिशियल डेज, लाइक इन अभी आज के दिन, मतलब 2 साल पहले की अगर पहले की बात करें तो आज के दिन में हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट था. So what happened, I was the first doctor who have infected with the COVID in the first wave. तो उस समय मेरे को इन्फेक्शन हुआ जब इसके ट्रीटमेंट के बारे में, इसका आउटकम के बारे में कुछ वैक्सीन भी कुछ अवेलेबल नहीं था. उस समय मैं कोविड से इन्फेक्ट हुआ. मेरी इम्यूनिटी ठीक थी, मतलब आई वाज हेल्दी, कभी फीवर भी नहीं आता था, दौड़ता था, जिम जाता था रेगुलर, बट
ट्रैकिंग
आई वाज
करता था?
कॉन्फिडेंट. हाँ, ट्रैकिंग भी करता था. आई वाज कॉन्फिडेंट कि मुझे कुछ नहीं होने वाला, बट इट वाज कस्टमरी कि उस समय एडमिट करना पड़ता था हर एक को. तो मेरा एडमिशन हुआ, मैं हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हो गया, गीतांजलि हॉस्पिटल में. इनिशियल 5 days आई वाज डूइंग योगा एंड काढ़ा पी रहा था और घूम रहा फिर रहा था वार्ड के अंदर. आई वाज हैप्पी. और सडनली ऑन द 6th day आई कोलैप्स्ड. मतलब एकदम ऐसा कॉफ आया कि माय सैचुरेशन ड्रॉप टू द 82%. And then shifted to ICU. I was there, ICU, और with full support of oxygen, मतलब 15 liter per minute. At that time it was the highest supply of oxygen. तो उस समय, and with full support of oxygen my saturation was 91. And interventionist has decided कि या तो इनको एयरलिफ्ट करके मेदांता भेज देंगे या इनको वेंटिलेटर पे ले लेंगे. And plasma therapy was given at that time, and I was like 3 people in the ICU. और मेरे सामने 2 लोग जो थे वो दे एक्सपायर्ड, मतलब वो कोविड से मर गए, और आई वाज द ओनली पर्सन हु सर्वाइव्ड एट दैट टाइम. तो ऐसा है कि उस समय लाइक इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि सब लोग वाइट, मतलब लाइक ड्रेस में, किसी का चेहरा भी नहीं दिख, कोई फैमिली मेंबर पास में नहीं, कोई डॉक्टर्स भी जो आपको जानते हैं वो भी बाहर से देख करके चले जाते थे. कुछ इंटरवेंशन करना है तो वो अंदर आएंगे, अदरवाइज ओनली स्टाफ इज देयर इन पीपीई किट. नोबडी वाज देयर. को बस सिर्फ एक मोबाइल है आपके पास में, देन आप अब बीवी के पास, साथ में बच्चों के साथ में ऐसे रो थोड़ी सकते यार मुझे बचा लो, कुछ कर लो. नो, आप बस यू हैव टू पास ऑन द कॉन्फिडेंस. हाँ, अरे मुझे कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं सब ठीक हूँ, बट अंदर की आत्मा तो अंदर जानती है क्या होने वाला है. एट एनी मोमेंट कुछ भी हो सकता है, लाइक. बट हाँ, अब मुझे पूरा विश्वास था कि यार जिंदगी में ऐसा कुछ किया नहीं है. अपनी जिंदगी बहुत, मतलब अपने साफ सुथरी रही है, अपन बहुत अच्छा काम किया, सेवा की है, तो अपन मरेंगे तो नहीं. किस्मत तो अपना अच्छा रहेगा, मरेंगे तो नहीं. दैट वाज द कॉन्फिडेंस कि मरेंगे तो नहीं. साला वो वेंटिलेटर पे भी आ गए तो भी मरेंगे नहीं. अब मुझे लगा कि प्लाज्मा थेरेपी इज द अल्टीमेट ट्रीटमेंट, और प्लाज्मा थेरेपी भी दे दिया, फिर भी साला इंप्रूवमेंट नहीं आ रहा. सो धीरे 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 लिम्फोसाइट वाज 5% ओनली इन द माय बॉडी. 5% लिम्फोसाइट. yes, with all in spite of
all this.
yes, 5% लिम्फोसाइट था मेरी बॉडी के अंदर, और कोई वेन्स नहीं मिल रहे थे. उन्होंने बोला कि सेंट्रल लाइन डालनी पड़ेगी. मतलब इट वाज लाइक हॉरिबल एक्सपीरियंस, बट स्टिल कीप पेशेंस, धैर्य बना के रखा.
Great. हिम्मत और हौसला बरकरार रखा आपने, and today we see you smiling in front of us. Great lessons learned. What about you, Dr. Kirti? Anything that has been difficult in life?
Yeah, life has shown me ups and downs. So if you're asking me about the down part, I can recollect just one right now. It was about the during the birth of my elder son. So he came in our life after almost 7 years. So we were trying for a child, and he came after 7 years. And there was a like jubilant atmosphere in my family. You know, everybody was so happy after he was born. It was around 4:45 p.m. in the evening. And around 5:30, 5:45, the pediatrician told me that he's having this grant, तो ना थोड़ा सांस लेने में थोड़ी तकलीफ हो रही है. And then suddenly the emotions changed and he was shifted to the NICU. There was a lot of running around. My wife was in the recovery room and I had to take that small life in a basket with the oxygen वो सब लेके भागना पड़ रहा था. So I'm really blessed to have done his treatment under Dr. Barot. He is a senior pediatrician in Virar and he is a really efficient pediatrician. So he just kept telling me, don't worry, we will just take care of him. Just but कितना भी हम डॉक्टर है, कितना भी हम मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल है, बट ये मोमेंट्स होते हैं लाइफ के जहाँ पे हम रियली टेस्ट हो जाते हैं. So and it took almost 7 days for him to be in the NICU and I was not, obviously since it was an intensive care unit, I was not allowed inside because it was very सब infections वगैरह control करना रहता है तो allowed नहीं था. So I remember there was a small window through which I used to see him in that incubator with the tubes and all. So those 7 days were the most difficult phase in my life. There was uncertainty and like I said, it was after 7 years and those 7 days. So those 7 days really tested us. But luckily with the great efforts of the NICU staff by Dr. Barot, he recovered well. Today is a very happy child, a very talented child, and every time
you are a proud father.
I am really a proud father. I have a younger one as well. So every time I complete my OPD and I reach my home around 8 o'clock, 8:30, there's a typical celebration, a dance that I see whenever I enter the home. So that really brings back all the memories of how life has really stretched us to the extreme.
Definitely. So we see beautiful examples here of how life हमको जिंदगी हमको चुनौती देती है and we go past that with our mindset that is there, and therefore Chandrasekhar, Vinod, Varsha Kaku, Manoj, Mithila, all of these are saying great ambassadors of positive mental health. In fact, if we look at the slide, we will see that our doctors are humans too, and we need to accept that. We need not think of our doctors as gods and probably have expectations which are godlike. We need to understand that doctors are real people, doctors are humans, and that is what we understand and expect. And we respect that in our doctors as well. They are human beings and their life is also a life that matters. Keeping that in mind, let us treat our doctors with respect. As we come towards the conclusion of our program, very briefly, a message from each one of you all to people watching here. We'll have our guests, all three, Dr. John, Dr. Jitendra and Dr. Kirti, give a brief message to the people watching here as we come to the conclusion of our show. Yes.
Yeah. You don't get success when the journey is smooth. You have a lot of pitfalls, a lot of speed breakers. So when the going goes back, it is only the tough which will keep going. So
True.
my only message, keep getting tough, keep learning new skills, take more challenges in life because you are prepared for the rainy day. Because when the rainy day comes, all this will come in place. Thank you so much.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And don't forget, 14th of August, we will give you all reminders for joining in for the Fit Marathon. Yes, Dr. Jitendra.
देखिए, एक ही मैसेज है कि कितना भी बिजी हो अपने जीवन में, एक हॉबी पकड़ लीजिए और उसके अंदर कम से कम सप्ते में 2 बार 4 बार वॉट काइंड ऑफ हॉबीज यू हैव. हम भी बहुत बिजी हैं, लेकिन साल में 3 बार हम 10-10 दिन निकाल देते हैं और हम लोग पहाड़ों में निकल जाते हैं. तो इसी तरीके से, और एक और पॉइंट, कोई भी आस पास में परिवार में कोई भी है, माफ करना सीखो. गिव फॉरगिवनेस. मतलब आप कोई गलती करी किसी ने आपके साथ में, आपके दोस्तों में, किसी ने भी डिपार्टमेंट में, व्हाटएवर वेयर एवर यू आर, माफ करना सीखो. क्षमा दोगे तो आप सबसे ऊपर है. बस these 2 messages.
Definitely. Beautiful message for life. And what about you, Dr. Kirti?
So my simple message is that life is always going to be a struggle. It cannot be like a predicted thing. So it is all about your perspective. हम किस तरह से नजरिया जो रहता है दिन देखने का, वो हम डिसाइड करते हैं. तो हमारे हम पूरी कोशिश कर सकते हैं उसको चेंज करने की. और जैसे जितेंद्र सर ने बोला कि फॉरगिवनेस जितना इम्पोर्टेंट है, उतना ग्रेटिट्यूड, थैंक यू बोलना भी उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है. और सबसे फर्स्ट जो पर्सन होता है जो जिसको आपको थैंक यू बोलना है, वो आप खुद को बोलना चाहिए, क्योंकि हम खुद को हमेशा भूलते हैं ना. सेल्फ केयर सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है. हमारे इमोशन हमारे है, उसको सबसे पहले केयर करना सीखना. बस इतना ही.
And taking care of myself, I must share that I'm getting back to, I'm being inspired by y'all, and my hobby of drawing, sketching, music, etc. इसको बनाए रखने वाला हूँ. And gratitude for all three of you all for being on our show. And like our next, our slide will show that yes, it is important that our doctors are now the doctors of the future, that say that it is less of medicine but more of taking care of your human frame, your diet, the cause and prevention of disease. This is what the doctor does for you, and we are looking at happy and healthier doctors and patients of the doctors. Well, let me also remind you of our regular programs that run through. We have with us the Mentastic program that runs for kids, or Har Mahina we have a beautiful program for the mental health of children. Make sure your kids join this program online. Sunday, tomorrow, we have Monsoon, Magic and Me. This is a session that you will enjoy with us, especially for school children, making your mind fantastic, and that is Mentastic. We also have our online daycare counseling, where we have sessions from 5 to 6 from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 दिन back to back. हम आपका हिम्मत और हौसला बरकरार रखते हैं और आपको सेल्फ अवेयरनेस और सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन के साथ स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट सिखाते हैं. This has been very helpful for our patients and clients. Make sure you take advantage of this. We have Ouch, our Overthinkers Unlimited Chill Out Help Zone. This is a support group for overthinkers that happens every second Sunday of the month at 12 o'clock. Coming soon, 14th August, 12 noon. Please register. WhatsApp on 908-209-3848. We have Bato Bato Mein, and this is on our Insta Live, our program on Insta Live, Bato Bato Mein. Every second and fourth Saturday at 8 o'clock, we have conversations about mental health. And join us today at 8 o'clock while we talk to a beautiful doctor couple. The season of doctors is still on, the month of July. Too Good Together. We have the beautiful and dutiful doctor couple, Dr. Varsha and Dr. Jayesh Rathod, who we'll be sharing conversations with today at 8 o'clock. Don't forget, Wellsprings Counseling is our handle on Insta Live. So join in there. And finally, our Mandarpan. We come to you every fourth Saturday of the month, 6 o'clock, on the platform of 1MD, YouTube and Facebook both. Come forward for those good vibes. Come forward to radiate positivity. That is what we all need at this point of time. Once again, Dr. John, Dr. Jitendra, Dr. Kirti, all of you all joining us from Andheri, joining us from Jaipur, joining us from Vasai. You all have made a difference for us, for our viewers today, by sharing your life, sharing your talents, sharing your stories. May God bless us all, and let us continue to inspire people by being positive mental health ambassadors. Not forgetting our dear Anirudh, who's our technical showman behind the stage, who helps things work out all fine. So thank you and all the best to everyone. Let's have a great month ahead till we meet again next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fabian, and best of luck for Mandarpan.